Welcome to Behind the Screen. This is something like stream 17. Clearly back with Chronicles of Darkness for a week. There were just some technical problems, so we're going with what I was doing before the Scion actual play. So if you had checked the Monday meeting notes, I do apologize. They will have told you that this was supposed to be Scion, and it's not. So sorry. Something came up and it was unavoidable. So my name's Ryan, Comrade Bubbles, what have you, as you anyone who's watching the VOD will have seen in the incredibly colourful, if slightly atonal frame. I am disabled, so I might stutter, I might slur my words, I might experience muscle twitches. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can't do anything about that. I'm sorry if it makes you feel uncomfortable. And I do also struggle with multiple trains of thought, so I'll try to finish one before going on to the next. So this is Chronicles of Darkness, which is Onyx Paths / White Wolf's horror role-playing game uses the Storyteller system. And as you can see on the overlay, we're creating an introductory adventure for the Radford estate. For some reason, despite the fact I didn't change any of my settings, the now creating text box changed between the last stream and this one. I think it's due to the way I dealt with something, but it shouldn't have changed it, so technical problem there. So if it says something slightly different, I'm sorry, that is what it says now. So I run a lot of introductory games, and usually don't have more than 3 scenes, all 3 kinds of scenes. So if we quickly walk you through what there is. I have not sent any social media stuff because I don't have time. So an introductory scene, which is what we did last time. Did I pause the stream? I did to help with my bandwidth. A low stakes scene to kind of provide the hook. 1 to 3 scenes of players being able to investigate and stuff, and then a climactic scene where something happens, where the story is resolved. So as you can see, the low stakes scene is introduce the urban legend, create some drama, talk about aspirations if needed. Freedom scenes looking into the urban legend. Something happens. Someone in chat suggested the death metal band that recorded a music video at the Radford estate does, in fact, experience some paranormal happenings, and then the players are going to investigate that, and then deal with the urban legend and what have you. So so far we've created the town history, created a couple of urban legends, and we set the first scene of the fire, which I do need to go into in more detail. But before that, we're going to pick up what we picked up last time with character creation. So I fully intended to get these characters made before streaming this content again, but I was focusing on the science stuff, and so I don't have that. So I'm going to do some more characters together. So I don't actually need the faction field in this template. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove all references to faction. Much like with my sound game, A Rude Awakening, when this is finished, it will go up for sale on the relevant community website. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6 characters. It'll go up on the relevant community website. In this case, the Storytellers Vault, where it will be a pay what you want title. I just need to move the Twitch chat box slightly so I can see something. That's better. So, concepts. Let's start with concepts for all the characters and then go through and make them. So, it was I had some ideas for character concepts, and they've completely just left my brain pan. There was a student who stayed. Tourist who stayed. Student of history. Hopefully, the webcam's not shaking too much. The desk I'm using isn't that steady. It's steady enough, but because when I type, it can move. The webcam can shake a little, so I apologize for that. Those are the 2 I had: tourist who stayed, student of history. I need 3 more. What else would you find in a decaying, economically deprived town? Ow, that was my ankle. What was the industry? Was it fishing? Oh, nope. Handful of shops, restaurants, a single school. So we could have the teacher. Per 3,000 inhabitants. Maybe not. Okay. So there is a water source. So there would be something related to fishing. Character concepts, Angel Wraith. Character concepts. Also, hello. Gosh, my brain pan. I was in full silent mode, and then obviously things happened, and now I'm doing this. Let's say that cynical fisherman, fisher person, to play opposite the hopeful park ranger, and we've got tourist, student, favored child of the city, of the town, so whatever that means. And also let's have yeah, let's have a criminal. Light-fingered tour guide. So, okay, so names can come later, or if anyone, you know, what have you. It is, I believe, 543 for. Oh, right, anchors. Did I do anchors? Did do anchors. Okay, so tourist to state. So virtue, I'm going to say curious. So again, virtue, vice are ways of getting like willpower back. Virtues are a long-term solution. Vices are a short-term, long-term kind of hard solution. Vice is a short-term fix. So their virtue is curious. So that's a positive character trait for them. But negative character trait for them is, let's say, trusting. Too trusting in this instance. Okay, there we go. So 543, right, for attributes. Actually, no. Let's bulk do this. Let's do this all in one go. So tourist, let's do all the anchors together. So student of history, virtue. Analytic. No. Yeah. Let's say analytical is a positive. And a negative for a student of history. Overthinker. Cool. Done. Fisher person. Gotta be patient to fish. Trust me. I know. Also, if I look kind of there-ish or there-ish, so kind of up. That's where my chat box is in this new streaming space for people who don't know. Anyway, vice. I mean, cynicism is right there. So sure. Cynical. To recap for people who are unaware, anchors are those things that help a character retain their sense of self and drive their behavior. Virtue and vice. For each of your character's anchors, decide antisocial. Ooh, I do like that. Decide on a description of a major personality trait or motivation for your character. Something like ambition, honesty, kindness, or greed. For your character's virtue, you want to pick a trait that's difficult to act on or easy to ignore, but that makes the character feel proud when he makes the effort. Vice is an easy way out. So in this instance, antisocial is easy to get to do, but patience is more difficult. For the student of history, the way I would imagine that to be is that they like naturally overthink things, but there's no actual analysis going on. And then when they push through the overthinking into the actual analysis side of things, then that you know, that makes them feel positive. And then with the tourist, trusting people to make decisions, to tell them what to do. Easy way out, short way out is their sense of curiosity driving their own actions. Okay. Favorite child of the town. Vice would be narcissism. Virtue would probably be the opposite, like selflessness, altruism. And light-fingered tour guide. Vice is greed. Virtue would be probably to do with helping people, but not altruism. Charitable. There we go. Complete opposite of greed. So those are the anchors, and now we get to define the attributes, which is 5, 4, 3 for primary, secondary. Friendliness? Yeah? Where did that go? Just so it's not the exact opposite of greed. Right, a tourist who stayed. So, reminder on attributes. Attributes are your kind of baked-in core abilities. They're things that you as a person possess. So, your intelligence, wits, resolve, strength, dex, stamina, etc., etc. Defined in terms of primary, secondary, and tertiary. Your primary category gets 5 extra dots. Secondary gets 4 extra dots. Tertiary gets 3 extra dots. So, going back up here, we can see that the Park Ranger has 5 additional dots in the physical side of things, 4 in the mental, and 3 in the social. You start at 1 for all of them. 2 is average. So for a tourist, probably going to be mental stuff, let's face it. Although we could prioritize mental skills, but social stats for the tourist. Let's prioritize social for the tourist. They travel a lot, like they fit in with people. So let's say composure 3, manipulation 2. That's 3 dots gone, and then let's just boost this to presence 3 as well for the full 5 dots. Secondary will be, let's say, intelligence. So we can make one of these 3 and the others 2. Let's make wits 3, intelligence and resolve 2, and then stamina 2, strength 1, stamina 3, strength 2, dexterity 1. Oh right, I never sent in social media stuff, did I? Whoops. I will do that right now. Where did that go? Sorry, social media's that's that. Type faster, but with fewer typos. The goal. there we go. Social media is sorted. I guess there's one more I can do. Okay, anyway, that's all the social media stuff I needed to do. Where did the chat window go? I cannot see chat. Reminder to host. I should be hosting. Unless because I had to restart the stream because of technical problems. The hosting ran out. Anyway, I'll sort that out afterwards. I've delayed enough. He says, they say, going to their own channel to check to see if they're hosting. No, I'm hosting. It's all good. Right, continuing on. So this tourist is primarily social, secondarily mental, tertiary physical. Let's give them a name. Let's say that they are... nope, that was the wrong window. I need this window. Which works without being too weird. Oh, this works. No, that's a... yeah, sure, why not? That name works. So that's that. And I need to give a name. Bring up this page for some... I just want a list of... there we go. Let's go with... do any of these directly translate across masculine to feminine? Not particularly. Oh, hang on. Yes, they do. That's the one I was thinking of. How do I get the cedilla? Is it just Alt-C? Can I do a cedilla in Google Docs? Does anyone know if Google Docs supports superscript characters? Alt codes. Anyone off the top of their head know? Because I could just cycle through all of the alt codes, because I have a lot of them in my brain because I did French and German at A level, or I could just actually just find the cedilla alt code. This is not helping. 0231. There we go. So that works as French tourist, Canadian tourist, or just someone from a French-speaking family. And add a space there just for ease. Okay, so that's that. Let us... I've done the anchors because I just wanted to get those out of the way. Those can be quite tricky because you've got to decide how they represent your character, especially getting away from the idea of vices always have to have negative connotations in like an umbrella term. So obviously narcissism, antisocial, yeah, pretty negative, but trusting isn't necessarily negative. I just want to demonstrate that. Let's continue with Francois Beaufort and do their skills. It's merits that I might do off stream. So, skills. Much as with attributes, if you remember from like 3 weeks ago at this point, skills are also prioritized, primary, secondary, tertiary, between mental, physical, social. And you get 11 dots for your primary, 7 dots for your secondary. Yeah, name options for male, female. So do I. That's why I decided to adopt it. I did the same with my Scion stuff, A Rude Awakening. After I compiled that, I gave the characters alternative names. I do try to keep them related, like hence Francois and Francoise, or Victor Castile, Cassie Victory. Anyway, so as I said, I think for this tourist, we'll have their primary be mental. So 11 points, so 3, 6, 9, basic first aid, basic ability to use a computer. In fact, let's lower that from 2 and put 1 in craft. So 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 11. Cool. So I did delete the ones without. I did, yeah, cool. So no occult and no science. I believe anything with 3 or higher, you get a free specialty in. Oh no, you get a free special. You just get 3 free specialties. Yes, it's not like other things. You just get 3 free specialties. So we'll come back to that. Gonna go with social stuff for the secondary skills, because you know that just seems to make sense for a tourist. Sorry. 1174. Yep. 7 dots for. Just make sure that is 11. Again, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 11. Yeah, cool. 7 dots in social. Let's go with empathy 1, expression 2, persuasion 2. Nope. Assuming I can do maths. 1, 2, 3 plus 4 is 7. I can do maths. Haha! Actually, I might. Let's drop that to 1 and have streetwise 2. And then the tertiary skills. In this instance, physical. You get 4 dots. So, no animal ken. No. You do not know the animals. Athletics to represent basic physical fitness for someone who travels. Someone probably can drive. Depending on the kind of tourism. Let's go with drive 2. They're an experienced driver. Don't really know how to defend themselves and don't know how to do illegal things. No animals. Animal Ken is being trained in knowledge of animals, so they're not particularly good with animals. It's like animal handling in D&D, or other OGL games like Scotland and Pugmire. I can't remember if Pugmire has animal handling. Anyway, so now we add the specialties. Specialties give you an extra die to a roll, if applicable. So let's say politics, brackets, international. What are the streetwise examples? far. Sample specialities, yeah. Black market, gangs, navigation. Yeah, it'd be navigation. And let's go with... Ooh, let's go with... what are the examples in investigation? Crime scene cryptography, dreams, forensic accounting, riddles. So it's making seeing patterns and things. I don't think like having a high investigation for a tourist seems to make sense to me because they're used to kind of. Some tourists are people who make their own like plans and route maps and things, so that's fine. I'm not necessarily sure we need a specialization in that actually. So let's go with a specialty in just go check socialize. Oops. Scroll too far. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Hotels. Nah, that's kind of too vague. Not hostels, because I don't think they'd be staying in a hostel. Let's say... oh, right, travelers. There we go. There's a three specialties. International politics, travelers, and navigation. Yes, 3 specialties. Right, I have to pick the merits first because some of those could do the advantages. Okay, I guess this is just a character creation stream. Let's go for it. I believe there is a direction sense merit. There is a direction sense merit. Was I using... I was not, so... you get 7 dots of merits. There's a 1 dot merit. And let's say... Academics 2 or Science 2. Academics 2 is a thing. That would make sense. Good time management. So merits are... a large list of skills, a large list of options that your character can choose from to make your character character. It's what they can do that other people can't necessarily do, because everyone gets the same skill choices, everyone gets the same attributes. But did I give common sense to? I did. Merits are the more flexible ways of defining your character. Let's have language 1, because that represents fluency in other languages. In fact, let's have language 2 to represent fluency in 2 other languages. Leave that up to... oh, hang on. No, so language gives you fluency, but you can only buy it once. Multilingual gives you conversational fluency, but you can buy it more than once. Let's have language 1 times 2 to represent actual fluency rather than, and then multilingual also. For conversational fluency in 2 other languages. So that's 4 merit dots. patient makes sense as well. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 merit dots. Let's try social merit. Allies could make sense. Yeah, I think allies is the way forward. But allies is already... The ranger does have allies, I believe. Yes, the ranger already has allies. I guess we could just give them another... Manipulation 3, subterfuge 2. Yeah, they're not eligible for that anyway. I've got 1 dot. I mean, I could just delete one of the other merits to gain the dot back. No, contacts 1. There we go. For information more than anything else. How was I doing this? In brackets, cool. How would I word this? I guess just tour operators? No, Libraries. There we go. Oh, librarians. That's not how you spell that word. Apparently it is. It just looks weird. Let's say French. And... quick, hit me with another language. Portuguese. That's nowhere near how you spell that word, you idiot. That looks right. And then multilingual. So this is conversationally fluent. Let's say Russian and Arabic. Okay, and now we determine advantages. Health and everything. Willpower is resolve plus composure. Where is it set? Middle of nowhere, America. I believe Colorado was the final decision. Yes, Colorado. But kind of middle of nowhere, Colorado. Resolve and composure. So willpower is 5. Integrity is 7 because that's what all mortal characters start as. And I don't want to keep writing the adventure without knowing the characters that will be provided with the adventure, because I'd like to provide things that they can interact with if people do choose to use those characters. Size is 5 by default, and nothing has altered that. Speed is strength plus dex plus 5, so speed is 8. Size plus stamina, so health of 8, which is kind of average. Initiative is dexterity plus composure. So initiative mod of 4. Defense is the lower of wits or dexterity plus athletics. So it's 1 plus 1. Defensive 2. And not wearing armor, so we will remove that option. Remove the option from up here too. So I think like the canon names will be Victor will be the first name, and then the alternative name obviously will be the second name. just in case I need to know what the canon names are. And in like 20 minutes, that is how you make a character for Chronicles of Darkness. And now let's do it 4 more times. 4 more times. 4 more times. Okay. Student of History. Briar / Brian. Mason. Obviously going to prioritize intelligence here. Oh, also it's modern day, it's contemporary. Chronicles of Darkness is contemporary horror. So let's go with 3. 3, and then resolve of just basic human average. So that's 5. Secondary attributes of physical, and then let's have 2, 3, and Briar is not very manipulative. I said student of history. I did Soul Free Wolf. I did. If anyone ever wants to suggest other things, making normal mortal based WOD, I am. So this will go up on the Storytellers Vault as a finished product when I finish it. That's just going to be a while. But this show is about just talking people through how I write adventures, and the adventures will be provided with. My jacket has slipped down. Will be provided with pre-gens for use with said adventure on the relevant community website. So this one was the Storytellers Vault. The previous one was on Storypath Nexus because it was for Scion. It'll be pay what you want, and I am 100% open to chat, providing suggestions. So if you want to make a suggestion, feel free to. I am recording this for YouTube, so you'll be able to see, like, there'll be a video credit. I'm looking up because that's what my overlay is and I'm talking about it. There will be a video credit in that I'm just going to put the video on YouTube for people to see, and I'll link that in the final product. Otherwise, I'd spend ages just making notes of community members rather than actually doing the work. Yeah. Also, just ask questions. Feel free to ask questions. I'll answer them if I can. 2, 4, 5. 1, 3, 4. And 3. 5, 4, 3. Yeah, there we go. I've left. What's your story concept? Yeah, Scott. Hey, that's fine. So the story concept is dealing with themes of dust, renewal, loneliness, mood of extravagance versus decay. The story concept is in the middle of nowhere, Colorado. There's a decaying town. Used to have had a lot of old money put into it way back when, and a couple of the estates are now for like tourist rent, but one of them is, unknown to everyone at the start, haunted. There's urban legends about it being haunted, but no one actually pays attention to it. This is the important urban legend, that the last scion of the family lives in a basement hidden beneath it. Turns out he's a Wendigo. Punch the mic, sorry. Turns out he's a Wendigo, who knew? Which I'll be building as a spirit of deprivation and exposure and neglect. And so far I've just got some foreshadowing with the first scene kind of roughly demonstrated, but that was just to get the scene started. The last time I did this stream, focusing on this, and then I realized that I like knowing the characters I'll be providing with the adventure, so I know kind of what the default characters can and can't do, and what contacts they do and don't have. So I realized I kind of need to get the characters finished, and I haven't had time off stream, so I'm doing them on stream. So they're all people that you'd find in a decaying fishing town that has a national park kind of reasonably close by. Hope that answered the question in not too much detail. 1174. Obviously going to prioritize mental stuff. 3, 3. 2. So that's 8. Got 3 left. Let's have 1, 3. So that should be 11. 3, 6, 7, 8, 10. 3, 6, 7, 9, 10. There we go. Maths. How do I? So rationalization here. Researching just gives you the ability to spot patterns in data. That's all that is representing. Student. I'm kind of giving it like a knowing look and yeah, whatever. As I research gives you the ability to see patterns. Occult is there's just loads of urban legends in this town. Where are they? There are loads of urban legends in this town. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are set. So that just seems reasonable. And then science is again just a student kind of interested in a couple of things. The town used to be a big biomarine place, so they might be interested in it because of that or what have you, but kind of spreading the major around. Sorry. So now we've got 7 dots for secondary attributes. Kind of tempted to make the physical stuff the secondary attributes and have them be an urban explorer. Like they've been breaking into the abandoned buildings to see what's there, especially the older ones. Yeah, I like that idea. So we'll go with athletics 1. So we've got 7 points here. Velocity 2. Stealth 3. So that makes 6. And basic survival. Because some of the estates and things are quite... I'm envisaging being quite set back from... like in woodland and stuff. And gives us 4 skill points, 4 dots and skills to distribute wherever we wish. Let's say subterfuge is at least at 1. And as the thing says, feel free to ask anything. I'll answer if I can. Subterfuge 1. Let's say expression 1. I did a fair number of presentations as a student. Probably 2 streetwise. That is a good point. Thank you. I was looking at that list and going, one of these is really obvious and I just can't nail it down. But there we go. As an urban explorer, definitely they'd know their way around the town. There we go. Which means I can give them the parkour merit. 3 specialties. Well, academics is just going to be history because major. Let's have ghosts because I think these are ghost stories, right? Actually, none of these are ghost stories. Whoops. Never mind. I do want to go with the occult angle, though. Could just say folklore. Yeah, let's say folklore. Local legends? That's the wording. So a lot of my problem is I'm being watched typing and trying to keep things moving. So I'm going to make typos, and quite frequently I do lose... I get a complete mind blank about what I'm trying to say. A lot of that's just performance anxiety, and I do apologize. I know it's a bit annoying. So I am sorry about that. Urban environments. Is that too broad? That might be too broad. It's fine. That's what chat's for. Hopefully. Hopefully. Yeah. Let's just say moving quietly. There we go. So that's that. And then the merits. Right. Parkour. How many dots in parkour? Where is parkour? I don't think it's a fighting merit, is it? Because it's not a fighting style. I mean, it comes from a fighting style. Oh, a fighting style has been applied to it. No, it's not. I thought parkour was in here. Parkour, there we go. Prerequisite Dex 3, Athletics 2. Okay. So let's drop that to 2. There we go. Fan played a ton of WoD, though not the Chronicles set. Never brought anything since God Machine and New Mechanics Guided to NWoD. Yeah, so obviously Chronicles is just NWoD 2.0. But thanks for saying I'm fine. It's largely the same. They just kind of made everything more comparable across the board in terms of integrating the different game lines. And they said splats, which I guess sort of is. Okay, so parkour. How many dots in parkour? I'm thinking 2. Yeah, let's go with parkour 2. Where's Briar gone? There we go. I did like the expanded merits list that they included with the Chronicles rulebook, though. Stamina or Resolve 3? Okay, neither of those. Can't take that. Never mind. Do any of these other physical merits apply? Sorry. Not really, unfortunately. Because so some of the merits have prerequisites, and just looking at the physical ones, this Briar doesn't have the prerequisites for a lot of the ones I'd assign to them. So I might just go with parkour 3 instead. So that's 3 of the 4 dots. Mental merits, encyclopedic knowledge. I get nah. Encyclopedic knowledge is always a weird one. But no, let's go with encyclopedic knowledge and then give it encyclopedic knowledge. I think it's 2 dots, right? Yep, 2 dots. It's like Bard's Law. Yeah. It's you pick a skill and you can roll to remember stuff about that skill, even if you have no dots in it. Let's pick. Let's actually tie it to a skill that they don't have dots in. Read the wording again. You can make an intelligence wits roll at any time your character is dealing with their area of interest. On a successful roll, the storyteller must give a relevant fact or detail about the issue at hand. Your character knows this fact, but you must explain within the scope of your character's background how they know it. Unseen sense is still in here. Yes. I believe. Although I am trying to stay away from the supernatural merits. I think it's a supernatural one. Yeah, it's still here, but I'm trying to stay away from the supernatural merits. I might go back and replace one of them with it though, or if I'm scraping the barrel. Just trying to think. What I could do is make it associated with survival. Remove survival and put that one dot elsewhere. Let's do that. Let's say it's in Athletics 3. Because I'll be writing kind of a short character background for each character anyway. So I'll make a note, Urban Explorer. Just so I remember that that's what this character is. So that's 5. You know, merits. Not skills, back to merits. 2 left. I think they've got danger sense up here. No. I'm thinking danger sense. The 2 dot merit. It's ooh, that works as well. That does work as well. Tell you what, let's get rid of parkour. Let's drop parkour down to 2. When the final product is released, these will be in alphabetical order. Mentor 1. I like that suggestion. I like it a lot. Do I have to define the mentor now? When establishing a mentor, determine what the mentor wants from your character. This should be personally important and should reflect the dot rating chosen. 1 dot mentor might be incapable of dealing with monster society and want to live vicariously through your character. It might mean coming to him and telling stories of exploits. Choose 3 skills the mentor possesses. You can substitute resources for any one of these skills. Once per session, the character may ask a mentor for a favour. The favour must involve one of those skills or be within the scope of his resources. The mentor commits to the favour, often asking for a consummate favour in return. For roles required, the mentor is automatically considered to have successes equal to dot rating. So let's give this mentor 3 skills. Let's say one of them is resources. Let's also have Animal Ken. And survival. So there could be, oh, and also requires regular updates about Briar / brains. Gosh darn it. I swear I can type well normally. That's a lie. Well, I make typos a lot because I type quickly anyway. Requires regular updates about Briar / Brian's exploits. Skills, resources, Animal Ken, and survival. There we go. Unless you can think of any different skill associations. Kind of thinking about them as a like a cryptid hunter. So I could replace one of those with occult, to be fair. Be fine. 2, 4, 6, 7. There we go. Just going to check something. Could be an old hunter sim on the rundown buildings, but no stories. Works equally well. So that would not be resources. It would be streetwise. Cool. I like it. Okay, cynical fisher person. She, her. Slash. There's not really a mask equivalent of Marianne, so. Marvin. Barnar. Yeah, let's go with that. He, him. Again, like age. Oh, I have been giving them ages. Okay. Let's say 35 and 22. 20. Older, let's say 43. So, fisher person. Probably gonna prioritize physical skills here. Just for, you know, outdoor living things. Everything seems to be working correctly still, so that's good. So let's go with stamina 3, strength 3, dexterity 2. Yep, that's 5 points. Composure 3. You know what? There we go. Secondary mental. Let's break the mold. 2. I'm tempted to give this person unseen sense, just because they're in tune with things. Give Marianne unseen sense because she's in tune with things. 1, 2, 4, 2, 3, 5, and then let's go the other way for. Oh right, advantages. Whoops. Need to determine advantages here. Okay, so willpower, resolve plus composure. 5. Starting integrity is always 7. So everyone's size 5 unless modified by merit. Strength plus dexterity plus 5. So 10. Reasonably speedy. Health is size plus stamina, so health is 7. Nope, too far. Dexterity plus composure for initiative modifier. So 6, that's pretty high, all things considered. They won't be wearing armor. And defense is lowest of dexterity or wits, right? Yep, plus athletics. 3. Or 3, so 3. Defense of 6. Ooh, that's pretty high. Anyway, back to Marianne. Skills. Antisocial but patient. So probably not going to prioritize social, let's be honest. Let's go with physical skill. Let's prioritize physical. So we've got 11 for physical. Survival's probably going to be quite high. As is athletics with just walking and carrying stuff. Let's have some brawl. So what do we got there? 8. Go pretty quiet on the water, so let's have that. Again, I always mention this to people who are not as familiar, let's say, with games like this. The fact that there are no points in drive does not mean that she can't drive. It means that she's not trained. She does not have dangerous driving experience, or experience of driving dangerously, shall we say. And then 7. That's technically impossible. 3 points in crafts, 2 points in medicine, and 1 and 1. Oh, actually, rather than computer 1, let's go with science 1. One, 4, 6, 7, 3, 5, 8, 11. There we go. And then 4 points, 2 of which almost definitely go to Animal Ken. Maybe push it to 3. Let's just quickly check anything else. Let's have 1 as Streetwise. Yeah, let's have 3 in Animal Ken. So that's all that. Cool. She would also have patient. Patient is a 1 dot, right? Where did it go? Where did it go? There it is. Patient as a 1 dot. Let us give her unseen sensor to 2 dots. And I don't think there's anything required to go with that, but I'll just check. For a type of supernatural creature chosen when you buy the merit, for example, you may use unseen sense vampire, unseen sense fairies. The sense manifests differently for everyone. Cool. Let's have unseen sense werewolves. What did I note about the hunter cell? Okay. Anyway, that's fine. Because I think having unseen sense ghost just kind of makes the whole thing a bit easy, because the Wendigo will be built as a ghost. Sorry, I'm really tired today for some reason. So that's 3 merit dots. Right, there is a hardy one. Stamina 3. What's a stamina at? Stamina 3. Let's have hardy 2. So that's 5 dots. Ooh, where's Giant? Oh, Giant is 3 dots. One, 2, 3, 4, 7. Yes. Size 6. Okay, so attributes again. Attributes, advantages. Sorry. Oh, I need to get specialties as well. Let's do that real quick. So animal ken will be fish. Medicine, first aid, and crafts. Let's have poetry. Got to do something while waiting for the fish to bite. Anyway, so advantages. Resolve and composure for willpower. 5. Integrity is 7. Size is 6 because of the giant merit. Equally, there is a tiny merit that makes you size 4. Strength plus dexterity plus 5. So speed of 10. Speed is the meters that your character can travel in a turn. Size and stamina for health. So that's beefy 9. Initiative is dexterity plus composure. So 4. There is no armor. And lowest of wits or dexterity plus athletics. So 2. Cool. Excellent. So that's another character knocked out. There is no spoon. There is no spoon. I don't know why the Matrix reference. Okay. So, favourite child of the town. This would be just standard English name, really. That's Georgeville. So we'll have George and Georgina. You know what? Just for... because it makes sense to have more of a balanced thing. Georgina and George. Did I name any of the other families? Any of the other estates? I think it was just the Radfords I named. It was. Okay. Bonnar, Mason, Beaufort, Victory, or Cassidy. I hate names so much, chat. You don't understand how much I hate naming characters with people watching. I'm like, I've got to get the perfect name. It's got to perfectly describe this character. It's got to encapsulate them to a T. Valentine. There we go. 18. Let's have a social, primarily social. So let's have use baby names and meanings. I generally do. It just takes a while for me to go to encapsulate. Yeah, I do. Sorry, misspoke. I generally do use baby names. In fact, I use the Wikipedia's list of French surname and given names for this, for Beaufort, Monsieur Beaufort. It just takes some time to go there to get scrolled through a list, and I can just pick in English-speaking countries. Certainly, most nouns will work as a surname to some degree. And if you don't believe it, look it up, because you'll be surprised. Just check, that's 5, right? 2, 4, 5, yeah, that's 5. Then... Have we had anyone that lowballs mental stuff? No, actually. We haven't. Cool. Georgina is not going to be smart. So then we've got 4 points to distribute here. And 3 points here. Let's just go with across the board. Average. And then for kind of general ease, we'll stick with the same priorities. So social for 11 dots in social. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. And then the physical stuff, 7 dots. Let's go with 2, 4, 6, 7. Make sure I didn't delete anything I needed there. 2, 4, 6, 7. I did not. Whew. And then 4 dots here. 2 in crafts. Let's have 3 in crafts and 1 in politics. Local politics specialty. Shoplifting specialty. Dancing specialty. I'm kind of envisaging them as being kind of like a TV dancer situation where they're famous for dancing on TV and that's why the town likes them, but they can get away with a lot because of it. Or they're used to getting away with a lot because of it. Merits. So, physical merits. That's skills. Physical merits. Anything that I want here. Got them out. Velocity wise. 2. Could make it 3. Turn the table. Sounds like it's perfect for the character you're describing. Which would that be under to check if it's still in the game? Because I want everything to be in the core book, just because this is an introductory adventure. Quote-unquote adventure. Chronicle chapter? Oh, chronicle, I guess, technically speaking. Spin Doctor is probably going to be a merit, though. Or fast talking. Oh, table turner. Your character can turn any attempt to leverage her into an opportunity. Anytime a character initiates a social maneuvering action against you, you may spend a willpower point to preempt that attempt with one of your own or another social action. Composure 3, manipulation 3, wits 3. Yeah, she doesn't have the prerequisites, unfortunately. And I could move a couple of dots around, but I'd rather not, if that makes sense. I'm happy with them being perfectly average mentally. Okay. I was looking at the wrong thing. I am sorry. In which case, the merit you're thinking of doesn't appear to be in this book anymore. Oh, it's table turner 1. Okay. Sorry. Okay, anyway, what was I thinking? What was I doing? That's what I was doing. I was looking at merits. There we go. Wits or dexterity 3. Are either of those 3? They are 3. Cool. What's it called? Fast reflexes. Let's go with +1 for now. I think I may have dealt with parkour incorrectly. I think that should take up 3 dots because it's striking looks. Yes, that was definitely on my list. So because parkour is a style merit, I think you have to get the dots individually. So you get parkour 1 and then parkour 2. So I might have to revisit this one. It's a bit unclear regarding style. It just says each maneuver is a prerequisite for the next in its sequence, implying to me that you have to get them individually in a way. Anyway, that's a revisit. Did I write fast reflexes? I have entirely the wrong window open. I am falling apart here. I am so sorry. I did write fast reflexes. Right. Now I have to decide which level of striking looks to go with. Do I go with the 1 dot or the 2 dot? Or is it 2 dot, 4 dot? I can never remember. 1 or 2 dot. Let's go with... Let's go with 2 dots. Let's go all in. I keep closing the wrong window. Gosh, opening the wrong windows. Gosh darn it. So fast reflexes is just being kind of trying to reflect the trained dancer nature, and the striking looks is just they're extremely attractive as a character. Manipulation 3, subterfuge 2. Could get to subterfuge 2. Am I at manipulation 3? I am. Right. Let's drop persuasion down to 2. Subterfuge to 2 to get spin doctor, which is just the ability to tell lies and get away with them. Gotta stop pressing shift when I'm typing 1. So that's 4 of 7. I guess I could go with status citizens. Although citizens aren't really a group per se. That's an awkward one. Let's revisit that idea. Sympathetic to? So that's 6. I've got 1 dot left. Sure. Untouchable. Untouchable is related to if they ever get... your character commits crimes and is always a step ahead of pursuers. Because of their methodical planning, any roll to investigate them suffers the incomplete clue tag, unless it achieves exceptional success. Okay, so now we do advantages. So resolve and composure for willpower. So willpower of 4. Integrity is 7, because that's what everyone starts at. It says it's 5, because that's what most people start at. Speeds. Strength dex 5. So speed of 10. Health is size plus stamina. So 7. Dexterity, composure for initiative modifier. 3, 2, plus 1 for fast reflexes. So 6. And defense, lower of wits or dexterity plus athletics. So it's going to be 2 plus athletics for 2. So some of these numbers might seem low for people who are unfamiliar with it, and yes, they are for now, but you can increase attributes and you can increase skills to up those values. So whoever's playing Georgina or George, or whatever name they choose to give the character, can save beats and experiences to increase their athletics, say, to increase their defense. It's annoying that it goes off the lowest of the of wits or dexterity, but there we go. Final character. Oh gosh. Light-fingered tour guide. Just gonna look up. Do I still have the French names open? I do. I don't know why I still have the French names open. I don't actually need them anymore. Let's go with... Blake Blanche. I like it. Just to kind of give some balance to everything, because it turns out people like... I know there's an 8-second delay, don't worry. It turns out people like having gender-neutral characters. Who knew? As a gender-neutral person myself, I personally do. So having a couple of gender-neutral options, also just to provide inspiration. Why is that not showing up here? This is heading... Anyway. Now all I can think is the surname White. Put a Y in it. Why not? Oh, there we go. It's because I haven't finished typing. Light-fingered tour guide. Let's say 29. So this is again going to be probably social based. Yeah, social, primary social. So let's go with manipulation being the highest. Probably composure. And then presence. Also, thank you for the suggestion, Soul Free Wolf. Really appreciate it. And then mental. Ooh. Prioritize observation and quick thinking or strength of will. I probably might make NPCs. So do I, to be fair. Part of the problem with this is I'm rushing through it to keep things moving and to keep the momentum of the stream, because I know that watching someone just type isn't the best. So I'm just trying to keep everything moving and as entertaining as possible. Strength of will, observation. Strength of will, observation. I feel like I need one of the flowers to pick petals from. Throw it up into chat. Strength of will or observation, which would you, or quick thinking, which would you prioritize making a light-fingered tour guide? Observation? Cool. I don't think anyone has wits 3. Oh, Briar has wits 3, but that's because they prioritize mental stuff. Cool. Excellent. Chat is in concordance with each other. Concordance? It's been a day so far. Anyway. And then let's go. Let's lowball strength and have 3 dexterity and 1 stamina. Well, 2 stamina. So again, skills. Could prioritize physical here. Yes. Let's prioritize. Let's go physical, social, mental. Just so that it gives us points for lost in stealth. Actually, I mean, that's really all they need. So we could prioritize social and then the social, physical, mental. So while I'm here, I've got an extra point to drop somewhere. Yes, I'm in agreement. Let's go with brawl. Let's say that they've been caught a few times and have learned to, or have like been accused a few times and have learned to defend themselves from such things. So 3, 6, 9, 11. I think that works. Because if you're being light-fingered, you're going to be relying on not getting caught over intimidating people, and then talking your way out of problems again, rather than intimidating people. Oh. Do they need to be good at talking? They do. I just don't think they need to be good at intimidation. Did I accidentally socialize? I did. Crud. So that 2. That 1. Yep, I realized. Make sure that still adds up to 11. 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. No, actually, your question, and don't they need to be good at talking, prompted me to check for socialize, so the lag wasn't a problem. The delay wasn't a problem there. Thank you so much for that. Which gives us 4 here. 1 for local legends. 1 for researching in the library. Again, local politics. And let's say they set up they operate as like they're independent. They set up their own business and they do all the web stuff themselves. Okay, so specialties. If you didn't see pickpocketing coming, you're not paying attention to the light-fingered aspect of the character. Let's check something. Where are we? I could probably go there and scroll up, actually. Yep. Tour groups. And let's go with web development. Just to give a bit of extra flavor to the character. And you can buy specialties with experiences as well. Yeah, technically the word is experiences in the rules. So that works. Merits. I think they would also probably have Spin Doctor. There's also Takes One to Know One, which might be viable here. Where is it? Yes. Yeah, that's totally viable. So that's Takes One to Know One. And that's a 1 dot merit. Do you still get freebies for all of them? You get 3 free specialties, yes, and 7 merits, 7 dots of merits. At least I think it's 7. Now I'm double checking. Pick 3 specialties for your character. 7 merit dots, yeah. Whew. Is Larceny at 3? Larceny is at 3. Sleight of hand it is. Otherwise, I was going to move stuff around to be at Larceny 3. 2. So that's 4. I think that's fine for now. So resolve +2. Area of expertise is a 1 dot merit. Pickpocketing. So that replaces the +1 bonus from pickpocketing with a +2 bonus. So that's 5 merit dots spent. Honestly, danger sense is possible. Ooh, even better. Eidetic memory. So 2, 4, 6, 7. Yes. Previously went away from Elwood to Endwood. They were like XP to spend time with the character. Oh, do you mean like starting at starting with experience to spend on your character? Is that what you mean? Because you can do that if you're starting with an experienced character, obviously, but these are just base level pre-gens. Yeah, you can start campaigns with experiences. That's fine. Get real close, make my head real big in the webcam. No, it's terrible posture. Advantages, I guess. Resolve and composure of willpower. So 5. Integrity is 7. Light out a few XP to order NPCs just to signify their start. Yeah, you could do that with the storyteller's permission. Obviously, I wanted all these just to be, starting from the same starting point because it's designed to introduce people to the game. Strength Dex +5, and obviously there's no real 9. Age mechanic in Chronicles of Darkness. Health of 7. Have no armor. No armor. No character has armor. But yeah, I would totally, if this were my home game and people wanted to, I'd be happy with it. Also, obviously, you can just give people beats as well, so they don't have experiences to spend per se, but they have a step closer to getting experience. Dexterity plus composure. So 6. 3. So to recap what I'm on about there. So your character earns beats. Every 5 beats gives you an experience, and then you spend the experience on improving things. But Chronicles of Darkness did away with the exponential curve of improvement. That was a terrible way of explaining it. Sorry. Where's the there we go. Where's the table? So in New World of Darkness, the first edition, it used to be like 3 times the skill rating, the new ranking scale, or like 5 times for attributes. But now it's just 4 experience per attribute dot. Look through it, they got a lot more confusing. They did. Now it's a flat. You just pay 4 experience, you get another attribute dot, 1 experience per merit dot, 1 experience per specialty, 2 experience per skill dot that you want, and then 2 experience per integrity dot. Which is a lot easier to deal with. Especially as it's not difficult to get beats, because you get beats for fulfilling aspirations, resolving conditions. Some conditions just give you beats. You can take a dramatic failure if you fail a roll for a beat. You get a beat just for turning up. I think I mentioned that one. A beat when you take damage in one of the 3 rightmost health boxes, and anytime you risk a breaking point. So beats just kind of reward role playing. 5 beats gives you an experience, and then I listed the experience costs. It sounds like a lot of bookkeeping, but it works out as it doesn't work out that way. Anyway, so I've got the 6 characters, at least. That was very rushed. I do apologize. I still think I've got this wrong. I think that parkour should count as 3 dots, but I'm not entirely sure. I will have to consult the internets for other people's interpretations of the way it's worded. It's just worded ambiguously, in that you can't get the 4 dot without getting the 3 dot. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But does that mean you buy them in the pyramid fashion, or not? Anyway, so back to this. Let's continue with scene 1, the fire, and build upon it. So the Markham House, one of the estates rented out to tourists, catches fire. The PCs are present. Some may be part of the volunteer fire department. Others may be interested. The assembled crowd believes there to be school kids, teenage ghost hunters inside. Dangerously in terms of health, this provides ample opportunities to introduce conditions and tilts, as well as the basics of dice rolling for any character wishing to enter the house. Potential story guide characters are members of the fire department, the local knitting circle, the building's landlord, anyone related to the teenagers, and the teenagers themselves. Rough sequence of events to prompt player engagement could be the fire starts, any members of the fire department, the volunteer fire department is summoned, the crowd assembles, people start gossiping, the fire department enters the building, something happens within the building, crowd directs whatever happens, invisible, audible, the fire department leaves the building. So that was kind of, those are the notes I made at the end of the last time I streamed this, because I was running out of time, but I wanted to get something, like some direction, some sort of idea down. So we're gonna build. We're gonna build upon this. So, I guess we're gonna have this as the opening. So let's move some of this text around. Put that there. Put that there. Put that in the notes section. And then we need an inside the building / outside the building. So heading to inside the building. And a space. And then heading to outside the building. Any characters who enter building are subject to I think a level 2 tilt would make sense here. Oop. There we go. Where are tilts? There are tilts. That's fire itself. Okay, extreme environments it is. We'll give it a level. That'll be a level 2 environment. Hang on 1 second. No, tilts. What was I thinking of with tilts? Oh, extreme heat. There we go. Temperature fire above normal, characters got heal bashing damage. Yeah. Cool. That's what I was thinking. Okay, so conditions, extreme environments, and tilts. Any characters who enter the building are subject to a let's just say any characters inside the building. Are subjected to a level 2 extreme environment. And the extreme heat tilt. So the environment will apply -2 penalties to pretty much everything because it's just hot. There is a fire, and the extreme heat means that characters will. It's more just that in case it comes up, but they'll heal bashing damage once every half hour rather than once every 15 minutes. I think it is, or something like that. Yeah, anyway, you heal at half the speed. Oh no, wait, mortal characters can't heal in extreme heat. I think. You can't heal bashing damage. There it is. Because the temperature is dealing damage at the same rate you normally heal. so that's fine. That's cool. Something happens within the building. I want it to foreshadow Radford and the whole ghost thing. Let's have this as storyteller stuff. Okay, so let's have a third heading. Let's have entryway. Space. Living room, space. Dining room. Bedroom 1. Bedroom 2. Master bedroom. That should be spaced. Master bathroom. Library. And kitchen. Obviously these aren't all the rooms you'd find in a stately house. But these are the rooms that something interesting will happen in. Or potentially will happen in, and they'll just delete as appropriate. I'd rather have them listed out, so. Whilst the fire rages throughout the house, some rooms do experience some rooms do have something. Oh. Something else is at play here. Rooms listed below can be encountered in any order, the exception of the entryway. Exception of the entryway, which is encountered first. Because I'm not going to sit there and build a house map for everyone to use. I mean, I could. I've done it before, but I'm not going to. If you think of... I don't know why I keep making storyteller notes when this is designed to be written by the storyteller. Else that may happen. Insert it into whichever room seems most appropriate. Nope. Nope, so close, there we go. So, entryway. Okay, lexicon. Glossary. Where's the glossary? Because every game has a different word for dice rolling, and I just... Would you know there isn't a glossary in the index? I would much rather just... There we go, there's a lexicon page. Is it contest? Is it challenge? Is it test? Is it check? Dice pool? Oh, dice pool is what you would roll to do this. That wasn't the right place, clearly. Sorry, I'm trying to read quickly, but obviously I'm trying to also focus on what I'm reading, so I'm not trying to speak that much, because that does distract me. Roll. it appears to be roll is the wording here. Yeah, roll. Cool. Well, that's nice at least. A reflexive weights plus composure roll. There is no result for anything for dramatic failure or failure. Success means the character feels an unnatural chill before the heat of the fire hits them. And an exceptional success means they feel a brief pang of hunger. As well. Foreshadowing. Ooh. Okay, so where would the teenagers be? Let's put the teenagers in bedroom 1. Group of teenaged ghost hunters are cowering in this bedroom. They are trapped by a fallen... trapped in the ensuite. By a fallen chest of drawers can be heard from corridor outside. If questioned, top of any information deemed relevant for them to... God, this desk shakes a lot. Sorry about that. They will relay in shaky and uncertain tones the fact that they were following the sounds of footsteps when they entered the ensuite. One of them has a broken camera. That she believes contains video evidence of the ghost. And in brackets, it depicts a blurry figure. Footage depicts a blurry figure walking from a distance as it walks down a corridor. Brackets, comma. The footage, if later recovered. There we go. Okay, so I think for now that's where I'm going to leave it because I've got 5 minutes left, and I've got stuff to talk about. So again, apologies for the technical difficulties leading to a different stream than advertised. These things happen, unfortunately. There's nothing we can do about it. So next week's stream, all being well, should be the advertised finale to the Scion actual play I've been running. I'm just checking my calendar for something. So the season before this, season 2 of Behind the Screen, season 1 was a D&D one I did on my own channel, was a Scion-focused season, and I'm running a group of players through the adventure that I wrote on stream, and next week should be the finale of that. Obviously, if it isn't, I'll just stream this again if we have more technical difficulties. But next week should, in theory, be that. I hope you've enjoyed this week's impromptu. I wasn't planning on doing this stream. I hope it turned out moderately entertaining. I was kind of hoping to have the characters done by the time I got to this point, but again, things came up, and I do apologize. If you ever want to watch any of the content on this channel, there is a week's exclusivity for Twitch subscribers, but then it goes up on the Onyx Path channel, and this show goes up on my YouTube channel, Comrade Bubbles. I'm on Twitter at Comrade Bubbles if you have any lingering questions. I also stream on Twitch as well, same name, Comrade Bubbles. It's usually gameplay stuff. I occasionally do 5e OGL development work for my Patreon, but I'm always happy to answer role-playing game questions out on there. If you ever want to know about upcoming Onyx Path stuff, the Monday meeting notes are the way forward. They'll tell you about Kickstarters, if any are going on or upcoming. It'll give you news from Onyx Path. It'll give you, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, it gives you project development updates about what's in the pipeline and various things. So, for instance, I can tell you that if you are interested in Scion, the PDF print-on-demand version of Mythical Denizens is coming out on Wednesday. There we go. Or that the Contagion Chronicles in the layout stage and things like that. So it's always the best place to go for updates regarding Onyx Path news and things like that. After the Scion campaign finishes, I will be going back to my fortnightly schedule. So week on, week off, because it gives me some downtime to think about where to go next more than anything. So hopefully you're sufficiently intrigued by this to at least follow the channel to know when when I go live. I've just realized my Twitch Prime sub has lapsed. So if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can actually link it to Twitch for a free sub every month, which is what I'm going to do right now. And you get emotes and things, and it'll tell you that you can share your subversary if you want. I'm not going to do this, but there we go. So there we go. You can use Twitch Prime sub on this channel to get emotes, and as I say, there is a week's exclusivity for subs. Anyway, I am going to end the stream now, but as is usual, there will be a use my for Wealth Games watching. No worries, no worries. I don't think Onyx Path will mind that much. If you're interested in what in the other programming on the channel, stick around. I'll be in chat for a few minutes anyway, but I'm going to let the post roll, which is all the branding for the other programs on the channel. So hope you enjoyed. Thank you for being here, and I will see you hopefully next week.